population is 7 crores. If we are able to educate our population, educate our youth, impart skills, impart capabilities, risk-taking and otherwise, there is no doubt that our youth will not only ensure that Madhya Pradesh surges forward, but will go forward from here and hold Madhya Pradesh's flag across the country and across the world in the highest esteem. So the 5 tenets of leadership that I'd like to talk about. The first, be a visionary. You must think of things that have earlier never been possible. You must think of things that have been different. You are the captain of your ship, the waters being your life, and you must steer the ship through calm and rough waters. Nelson Mandela once said, and I quote, he said, many people think of the way things are and ask the question, why? I dream of the things that have never been and ask, why not? Unquote. Now that is the temperament that you need to imbibe. The visionary that Mahatma Gandhi was. Could anyone in that period, in that era, ever think that a non-violent struggle could bring British imperialism to its knees the way Mahatma Gandhi? Martin Luther King, halfway across the world, became his ardent student and follower. And his famous words, I have a dream, today even resound in every single person's mind. So the first tenet, be a vision. The second, be courageous. When you are facing overwhelming odds, stand up against those odds. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for what you think you can create. Do not be bowed down by pressure. If you have that belief in your heart and in your soul, press on and persevere. The third tenet, always be an optimist. In the face of overwhelming odds, if you stand up and say to all the people that follow you, whether you're a politician or a business person or a social service person or an educationist or whoever, the things are really bad. Like things are in the Eurozone today. Things are very bad. And things are only going to get worse. And I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But follow me. Who's going to follow? But if you rise up with a commanding voice and say, yes, things are bad, but we will persevere. I will lead you to the promised land. Have belief in me, and if you have belief in yourself, and that shows not in your voice, but in your eyes. Because when you see, look at people in their eyes, many people today talk in forked tongues, but eyes never lie. And you see the honesty of purpose in people's eyes, in their eyes, people will follow a leader who has conviction and belief in his purpose. The fourth tenet is persevere. And I think no one embodies that better than 2 entrepreneurs in our country. Jyotiraditya Tata, or rather Jamshedji Tata, who when he went to Bihar and saw the vast jungles that were around that area, still said, I will build the world's largest steel company in these jungle lands. And he made it possible in Jamshedji. When no foreign person, no Indian person had the courage to venture there, Jamshedji Tata did. No one else embodies this better than Narayan Murthy, who in Infosys started his company along with his wife and Nandan with a corpus of 40,000 rupees. And today that company has become a $15 billion company whose flag is flying across the world. So you must always have perseverance. That's the fourth thing. And the fifth, And not in order of priority, last but most important, you must be caring. You must be caring for the people that you are responsible for. And by that I mean not only your family, by that I mean your organization, the people who look to you. I've always followed a fundamental principle in my life. For me, marriages are always optional, but funerals are mandatory. It doesn't matter if you're not with the people you care for in their times of happiness. Because in times of happiness, you will be one among 100. But you must always be with your people who you care for in times of crisis and in times of sadness. Because that is what builds relationships. Finally, I'd like to give you 2 words of advice that I have learned through my own experience. Chaparwal Sahib talked about be wealth creators. I must say, Chaparwal Sahib, that I must disagree with you. Do not be wealth creators. Be value creators. Be value creators for people around you. Whether it's a product, whether it's service, be value creators. And if you're value creators, wealth will come. But if you concentrate, you must determine what is the end and what is the means. And let me give you my own example. Though my trajectory is very different from yours, but I do hope that some of you from engineering and MBA also join public service. My goal in life is not politics. I probably abhor and hate politics as much as you do. My goal in life is public service, and politics for me is only means to be able to achieve that goal of public service. And therefore define your goal. And then define the means to be able to achieve that goal. And therefore do not be wealth creators, but be value creators for people around you. Secondly, I had the good fortune of being taught by the founder of Intel, and I think many of you know who that possibly may be, Andy Grove at Stanford Business School. And he taught us a course about disruptive change and breakthrough technology. And in his last class, when all of us were sitting before him, he said, I have only one word of advice for all of you. Carry this with you for the rest of your lives. And he said, always remember that whatever vocation you choose in life, whether it be business, politics, social service, whatever you might want to do, always remember 2 things. One, there is only one constant in life, and that is change. And 2, only the paranoid survive. So be paranoid. I am paranoid every morning that I wake up and every night that I go to bed. What is it that I can do that I have not done in this day? What is it that I should do different that I have not thought about? And finally, be true to yourself. Be true to your values and to your morals. Values and morals is what makes a human being. Values and morals is what makes your family, and the family that you will go on to make as you embark on life. Values and morals is what makes up society. Values and morals is what makes up your country. And therefore be true, define those values and morals and be true to them in whatever institution that you become a part of or whatever institution you go to serve. And finally, a friend of my father's once said to me, and as his words still ring true in my ears, he said, always remember in life, whatever you do during your day, when you go to bed at night after a hard day's work, always remember, the softest pillow that you will encounter in your bed, the softest pillow is a pure conscience. Thank you very much for having me and goodbye. One more idea I want to leave you with. Politicians always have this problem once you give them a mic. as you embark on life, and as Bharatji said, and Anita ji said, and Major General said, that now you have created your foundation. Your life journey actually begins from today. And as you embark on life and as you go through various experiences, there's only my last piece of advice that I want to give you, which is, at the end of the day, don't worry about your paycheck. Don't worry about your bank balance. Don't worry about your monthly salary. Only be concerned that at all times you are part of an organization that continuously imparts experience and learning to you. And what I found very useful through my experience of attending Harvard University, working at many organizations, attending Stanford Business School, is that it instills in you a discipline. हिंदी में मेरी भावनाएं ज़्यादा करके मैं हिंदी में ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह से व्यक्त कर सकता हूँ. आत्म अवलोकन, आत्म चिंतन, self assessment. Every 6 months, every year, whichever organization you're with, always assess yourself. Is the learning curve that you started with when you entered that organization, the steepness, and therefore I'm going to use a mathematical concept, the delta, calculus, dy by dx. Okay? Is the delta as steep as it was when you entered? Is the learning curve as sharp, or is the learning curve flattening out? The minute the learning curve starts flattening out, that means that's the time you need to move. Because as long as you're with an organization that imparts learning and a learning organization, you will continually